Hello everyone, welcome you all. In the today's video, I'm going to show you three important commands: CMP, Diff, and COMM. So these three comes under file compare command, and by using these three commands, we can compare the multiple files. Now each command is having different type of options and a different behavior. Now I'll show you how we can use these three file compare commands. So first let us start with CMP command. Let me connect to my Unix terminal. So this is my Ubuntu VM and which is a terminal. So here let us create two different files and then I'll show you how we can compare these two files by using CMP command. So before that we need to have two files. So let me create two different files. So here I'm using one command called gedit, which will open the UI and where we can directly write the data. So gedit, and I'll say file one, and which will open a small window like this. And here you can type the data whatever you want. So I'm just typing some data, let's say A, B, C, and D. And after that, you can directly save here. Click on the save, the file will be saved. Now one file is created. Now similarly, I'll create one more file. So gedit file two, which will open another window, and here you can type the data. So here also I'm typing A, B, M, N, some different data. Let me put all uppercase characters: A, B, M, N. Now you can click on the save. Now file will be saved. Clear. Now I'll display the data: cat file one, cat file two. So now I have some content in file one and file two. So I want to compare these two files by using CMP command. So what exactly CMP command will do is CMP command will compare two files byte by byte of the text information. So it will compare the bytes. So each and every content in the file will be converted into byte. So the CMP command basically compare the byte by byte text information of the file, and finally which will display the first difference of the file. So where exactly it found the difference between these two files will be displayed. Now let me show. If there is no difference, it will not display anything, just it will get the command prompt. Okay. So now if I just look at these two files, file one and file two. So file one contains some data and file two is also contains some data. So which is a different data. Some common data is also there, but altogether file one and file two are having different content. Now let me use CMP command, CMP, and I'll say file one space file two. Now enter. Now let us try to understand this output. So as I said, the CMP command will compare the text from the file byte by byte. So if I just look at this, first it will show you what are all files we have compared, file one and file two, which I have compared. So where exactly it find the difference is byte 5 line number 3. So this is a difference found in the first file. If I just look at the first file, in the line number 3 we have a C and D. So line number 3 is a C. So here we found the difference. So in line number 3 we have a C in the first file, but in the file number 2 we don't have a C in the third line. So that's the number representing where exactly the difference is. And byte 5, so byte 5 means each character equal to 2 bytes. So this is 2 bytes 4, and this is a fifth byte. So exactly in the fifth byte, line number 3, there is a difference between these two files. So if the files are exactly the same, it will not give you any output, it will just come to the command prompt. And if there is any difference between these two files, then it will show you the where exactly the difference is, in which line and which byte it is a difference. So that will shown by CMP command. So there is one more command called diff command. So that is also we can use for comparing the files. So diff command. So what are the additional options the diff command is provided is, and diff command also used for comparing two text files, and finally which will display the mismatches in the files, where exactly the mismatches are there. So that information will be displayed. But in addition, which will also display some kind of special symbols and characters. So we'll see how it is going to display the output, and let us try to understand the output. So basically the diff is also one more command which will also use it to compare the two files. Now what I'm going to do is, let me just try to modify the file. So let me just gedit. So we already have file one and file two. In the file one, so I have some content A, B, C, and D. So 4 lines of text we have: A, B, C, D. Now close it. Now gedit file2. So file2 is also having a, b, m and n. Okay, now let us try to compare these two files by using diff command. Now we'll see what will happen. So before that, let me print the data. Say clear cat file1 cat file2. So this is the data currently I have. So I want to compare these two files by using diff command. Now observe this. I'll say diff file1 and file2. File1 and file2. Now we can see the output here. So there are multiple things are there inside the output. We can see some numbers, some characters, and less than, greater than. So many things we have in this. So let us try to understand what does it mean. So in the diff command, which is also additionally provided, few things like uh, if you just look at here, less than, wherever you can see the less than, that is representing to the first file, and greater than, which is representing to the second file. Okay, so when I say less than c, less than d, means these are the two additional lines which are there in the first file, which are not there in the second file. cd is not there in the second file. Now greater than representing the second file, and here mn is belongs to the second file. So when I say greater than m, greater than n, these two are belongs to the second file, but which are not there in the first file. Okay, so that's the meaning of less than and greater than. Now if I try to understand the first line, which is exactly tells the mismatches between these two files. So 3 comma 4 representing the lines from the first file, and the after this character 3 comma 4 representing the lines from the second file. Now there is a small character called c, small c, which is representing like change. And similarly we have few characters. Let me just note down here. So there are multiple characters we have. So here less than representing the first file, and greater than representing the second file, and c representing the change. And similarly we have few more characters called d representing the delete, and also a representing the add. So you can see these three different characters: c representing the change, d representing the delete, a representing the add. Now based on this understanding, again let us try to understand this output. And if I just look at here, so greater than c, greater than d means c and d are belongs to file 1, because first file, because it is a less than, and they are not there in the second file. Now greater than representing the second file, and m and n, so these two are belongs to second file, which are not there in the first file. Okay, now what about the c, d and a? If I just look at the first line, 3 comma 4 are the line numbers from the first file, 3 comma 4 are the line number from the second file. Now c representing the change. What we have to change? 3 and 4 lines from the first file we have to change. C and d we have to change with m and n. So mn is a 3/4 line from the c. C means change. 3 comma 4 means second file. So before the character, the lines are representing the first file. After the character, lines are representing from the second file. So 3 comma 4 lines from the first file should be changed with 3 comma 4 from the second file. So this is the meaning of this expression. Now cd belongs to first file, mn belongs to the second file. Okay, so basically the diff command, which will use to compare the two text files, and which will display the mismatches in the two files, and in addition which will also display the some special symbols like greater than or less than, and special characters like c, d and a. Okay, so this is how we can use diff command. Let me show you one more example with the diff command. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just modify the files. Let me just go to gedit, and I'll say file1, and currently I have a, b, c, d. Fine, let it be there. Now I say gedit file2. So currently we have a, b and m and 1. So m and I'm just removing. So currently I have only a and b in the second file. Now save it and close it. Okay, let me clear. Now display the data from both the files. I'll say cat file1, cat file2. So now in the file1 I have a, b, c, d. In the file2 I have only a and b. Now let us try to compare these two files by using diff command. I'll say diff file1 and file2. Now observe this. So this time we got the D here instead of C. So let us try to understand this output. So here less than or is representing the first file, right? So C and D are belongs to the first file, which are not there in the second file. Done. Now what about the first expression here? 3 comma 4 lines are belongs to the first file and 2 is belongs to the second file. So what is D representing? D representing the delete. So what it is suggesting as is just remove the or just delete the 3 comma 4 lines from the first file. Okay, that is equal to second file. Then it becomes the identical of the second file. So that is D representing. So D representing the D. So 3 comma 4 lines from fourth lines from the first file should be removed. Then it becomes equal to the second file. Okay, so this is a representation of D. And similarly, we also have something called A, character A. Now I'll show you one more example with A, clear. And let's see the data. So gedit file1. So in the file1, I have A, B, C, D. Now I just removing C and D. So I'll just have only A and B. Save it. Only I just have A and B. Save it. Close. And then gedit file2. In the file2, I will have A, B, and also C. Okay, now save it. Close. So now let me print the data. Clear. Cat file1, cat file2. So now in the file1 contains A and B, file2 contains A, B, C, 3 lines, and the first file contains 2 lines of data. Now let's try to use diff file1 and file2. Now observe this output. So in the second line, greater than is representing the second file. The second file C is belongs to second file. So this is representing second file because greater than is representing second file. So whatever is character is there. So this particular line or text which is related to second file, that is file 2. Now what is the first expression it is saying is A. So this time it is giving A. A means add. So what is meant by add? So basically it is suggesting, so 2 representing the second line from the first file. So A and B is there. So what exactly it is suggesting is add third line, that is called add third line, that is C to file 1. So add third line, 3 representing the C, third line. Add A representing the add third line to the 2, that means first file. Okay, so then these two files will be identical. So sometimes you can see C means a changing, D means a delete, and A means add. So by seeing the expression, you can understand what exactly it is suggesting to do to make both files are identical or same. Okay, so this is how we can use diff command. Now there is one more command called COMM. So this is a command also we can use to compare the files, but which will give you more information. Now we'll see how we can use COMM command. So basically the command COMM is also used to compare two files, but here the prerequisite is the files should be in sorted order. Okay, so COMM command will be preferred if the files are in sorted order. If the files are not in sorted order, you have to sort them first and then you can use COMM method on those particular files. Okay, so let me just put few important points here related to Comm. Let us try to understand what is the additional information which is provided. So which is used to compare two sorted files. So before applying COMM command, we have to sort the files by using sort command, then which provides the output in 3 different columns. So it provides the output in 3 different columns. The first column displays the unique lines from the first file, second column displays the unique line from the second file, and third column displays the common lines from the two files or common lines between the two files. So 3 different columns of output which will be shown. Now before applying COMM command, the files should be in the sorted order. Okay, now let us see how we can work with this command. COMM. And even this command also will be used to compare the two files. So let me just clear. All right. So here, when I say ls, I have two files already there. So let's say emp list 1, emp list 2. Let me print the data cat emp list 1, so which contains some names, let's say John, Scott, David, and Ty. But currently this data is in not sorted order. Okay, we have to sort this data. Then I have one more file called emp list 2. So this is also having some data and which is also not in sorted order. So before that, before comparing these two files by using COMM command, we have to sort them. So how we can sort this? I'm going to sort the first file for now. So I'll say sort emp list 1 and emp list 1. And after sorting this, I just want to have the sorted data in some other file. So redirection symbol. So I say emp list 1 underscore, I'll say sorted. So what this command will do is first it will sort this list, and after sorting, the sorted data will be stored in this another file emp list 1 underscore sorted. Enter. Now it is sorted. Now I'll also sort the data from the second file. I'll say sort emp list 2 and redirection emp list 2 underscore sorted. So this is another file I'm created. So now what I have done is currently the data in these two files are not in the sorted order. So before applying COMM command, I have sorted this file. So sort emp list 1. After sorting, the data will be there in the another file, which is emp list 1 underscore sorted. And after sorting this emp list 2, the new data will be stored in emp list 2 dot sorted. So now I need to compare these two files because now these two files are in sorted order. Now let me clear. Now let me display the data first. So I'll say Scott emp list 1 underscore sorted and cat emp list 2 underscore sorted. So now I have some data in both the files. So emp2 underscore sorted, emp1 underscore sorted, emp list 2 underscore sorted. Okay. All right. So now I need to apply COMM command. So I think there is some space here. Let me remove that space also. For that, what you can do is I say we can all anytime we can, if you want to modify the data content in the file, you can use gedit command and gedit emp list 2 underscore sorted. So this is a file, right? So now there is one space. I just removing it. Save it. Okay. Now clear cat emp list 1 underscore sorted, right? So cat emp list 2 underscore sorted. Now I have a two files which contains a sorted data. Now I want to compare these two files by using COMM command. Let's try to do that. COMM, and what is the first file? Emp list 1 underscore sorted. This is my first file. Space space the second file. The second file is emp list 2 underscore sorted. Now enter. Now you can see the output like this. So as I said before, the output will be shown in three different columns. So this is first column, second column, third column. And the first column displays the unique lines of the first file. The first column displays the unique lines from the first file. So what are the unique lines in the first file? Unique lines means they are not there in the second file. So what are those lines here is David and Ty. If I just look at the David, which is not there in the second file, and Ty is there in the first file, which is not there in the second file. So first column displays the data which is unique in the files, which is not there in the second file. Similarly, the second column data will be displayed from the second file, which is unique in the second file. So Kennedy and Mary, these two values are belongs to the second file, which are not there in the first file. Now, in the third column, which will display the common data between two files. So what is the common data here? John and Scott. So these two are the common data we have in the two files. So comm command will display output in the three different columns. The first column is displays the unique lines of the first file. Second column displays the unique lines from the second file. And third column displays the common lines in the two files. But the prerequisite of this command is the data should be in the sorted order. If it is not there, we have to sort the file and then we can apply this command. That is a COMM command. Okay. So they are the three commands we have: CMP, diff, and comm. So these are the three commands by which we can compare the files in Unix or Linux. Okay. So that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.